Have you ever considered how important it is to God that you rest? In today's culture, in today's environment, sometimes it can seem as if hustle and grind and continually working, striving is looked upon as a good thing. But one of the 10 commandments says, honor the Sabbath. The Sabbath was made for the child of God, not the other way around, right? It was made to help us reset our nervous system, to help us reset our identity as a child of God. It's a day set aside in the sacred pattern of the Creator. In Genesis, it tells us that God rested after 6 days of work. 6 days of creation would be a better way to say it. He created the world and all that's in it in 6 days, and on the seventh day, he rested. And then he made it a command that we rest, that we follow his pattern. We're made in God's image. We are creators as God is. It only makes sense that we honor his instruction to rest, reset our nervous system, spend the day with God is another way to say it, right? Rest is not about being complacent or inactive. It's about stopping the normal routine of the 6 days of busyness in one's life. The Sabbath is set aside for the child of God to remember God, to spend the day with his spirit, to soak in worship, to love God with your whole heart, not be distracted by the busyness of the world, the normal activities of the day, right? And so this isn't about being legalistic. Yeshua definitely spoke out against that, right? He was accused of working on the Sabbath by the Pharisees and the Sadducees and the scribes of his day because he assisted in people's in healing people, right? Again, he didn't heal people. He told people their faith healed them, but he was uh, a source for their faith, right? You focus your faith on Yeshua, and you can find healing. You can find rest. Miracles occur around you when your faith is focused on the Son of God. So he was accused of working when walking through a grain field with his apostles, his followers, and picking grains of head off of the plants, picking heads of grain off of the plants, right? The dogmatic religious teachers would say that's work. So you can see that Yeshua spoke against that. He said, that's ridiculous. And you stock laws on top of my father's laws. You hypocrites, you brood of vipers, right? This is what he called these people who would look to the black letter of the law without mixing it with the spirit of the law of love, as I like to refer to it. So you have God's words written down in the scriptures, written down in the Bible. That's the law. And then you have the spirit of the law, which is the Holy Spirit, the essence of the Creator, infused into the black letter law. Not all lessons are for all people all the time. This would be a perfect example, right? So, yes, in our mental mind, we can discern that there's a bunch of rules on how we are to follow the Sabbath, what that means to rest. Yeshua did not subscribe to that. What he did say is that the Sabbath was made for man, not the other way around. It's a day for us to set aside our normal routines and commune our spirit with God's spirit. Rest in him. Yeshua said, take on his yoke. His burden is light. It's not as the man's burden, that world of work, the world of commerce, That's not what we're engaged in when we're resting with Yeshua on the Sabbath. So I encourage you to rest, spend time with God once a week. The Sabbath is originally from the Jewish culture was Saturday, started on Friday at sunset, and it went till Saturday evening at sundown. So may God bless you as you rest.